It's Friday night and a quick ride along with me on June 26th of 2020 with the latest software that just came out for the Tesla Model 3, and that is version 2020.24.6.1. Kind of a mouthful, but anyhow, let's start with backup camera, and I'm going to go ahead and show you rather than just show you the release notes. And then we're going to go out for a ride along, a drive around, where you will see the drive through green lights as well. That's covered right here. But let me just show you. Let's start with making sure this is turned on. So if we go into Autopilot, traffic light and stop sign control is turned on. Great. So we'll be able to see that together. And let's start with reversing the car. Nice, right? Now when you first get the software update, it just shows this. So you turn the camera on and off as usual. You get that little arrow. You can touch the arrow to toggle it, or you can just slide up and slide down. Anyhow, the cool thing is it remembers your setting. So let me show you. We put the car in reverse. Ta-da! It remembers I want to see left and right and avoid curbing. So you can see here we've got a yellow curb. And now, in addition to my side view mirror that's tilted down, optionally, I can actually see on the backup camera and on the side. Now in the daytime, this will be a little more compelling. A little more light sensitivity in the daytime would help. It looks kind of purpley to you, I'm sure. Let's go for the ride along now with the stop sign and stoplight detection. You can obviously see this stop sign. What might not be so obvious is that you have these visualizations. If you haven't seen one of these before, it's pretty remarkable, the level of detail there. It's kind of crazy, right? You can even go in front of the car. All right, enough of me talking. Let's go. Now, this is my first time with a GoPro with these settings aimed this way, so I may have a little bit of tweaking to do, but so far it looks pretty good. Yep, we're seeing the red light. In fact, I could probably get away with aiming the camera a little lower. Okay, turn on traffic. I turn on cruise control. Now we get a red light. A red line, excuse me, for where the car is stopping. Whoa, it stopped very smoothly. So when the light turns green, I'm going to tap on the stalk on the right, and it's going to go. However, this is a turn, so it's going to disengage. So the car is not claiming it should handle a turn like this. So I just want to point that out up front. It's really about when I get on this Berlin Turnpike, a straight stretch. That'll be more interesting for the testing of the light detection, green and red. So it used to be on a green light, you'd have to tap on the stalk to go through it. That was kind of like first couple of weeks. Okay, I tap the stalk, and the car's going. Nice smooth acceleration. And now it's warning me, and I took over with the steering wheel very seamlessly. If there were any passengers in the car, there was no head jerking or anything going on. All right, I re-engaged lane keeping. It was already going to stop the car because I still had cruise control on, set to 35. Okay, we could spin that up to the speed limit now. Okay, I was watching, it's showing yellow for some reason, a little odd. Okay, here we go. Let's see how the car accelerates. Actually, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what its 0 to 50 is. Okay, so I tapped it. Could have tapped my accelerator pedal as well, but I chose to tap the stalk. There's no cars actually around me or behind me. That's a pretty modest acceleration. I'd say it's like kind of chill mode. All right, and now we hit 50. Okay, we're going to the speed limit. And get out. Oh, stopping for the green light. Okay, now it's green line, so it knows it was green. Maybe it got confused with the one on the left. I don't know. We're going to need some more lights to test that out. Ooh, new visualizations there. I think that looks different, a little closer, more obvious. So I turned on the right blinker, and the car, because I have the FSD option, the car did make the lane change, even though I still turned my head to look. I'm still responsible for the car and its actions. And you're really not supposed to be relying on this around town like this, so I'll point that out as well. Okay, stopping. It does not seem to be proceeding through green without me tapping the stalk. I don't know why that is. So I'm going to pull over the car and disable traffic and re-enable it because it's clearly not working. Stopping again, tapping the accelerator pedal, tapped a little too hard, and that worked the same as the stock. It allowed me to proceed through the intersection without stopping. Alright, now I'm just looking for an easy place to stop, and we'll check the settings, and then we'll continue on our way. Let's turn right here. Gradually exerted force in the steering wheel, overcoming the lane assist, and then I hit the brake pedal, and then immediately the cruise control stopped. Now, I wanted to put the car in park like I just did, go to Autopilot, turn this off. Alright, now turn it back on, gives you a bunch of warnings, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to enable this while it is in beta? It says the word beta in uppercase here. And green lights, let's see. Driver accelerator and stock is required to proceed through green lights. Okay, so I do not yet have a version that's going to handle green lights, apparently. I'm a little surprised by that, but whatever. I could swear this is the code that folks said would do that. So I don't know. Enable start every trip. I'm going to leave all that alone. Actually, when you're on the highway here, we can do require lane change confirmation, no, and let the car do lane changes. And I don't tend to use that, but it's a new code. I'll try it at some point when there's not a lot going on. And as always, with my hands on the wheel. Okay, I guess I'll go through another light or two, and then I'll be done with testing this code. So I'm now in drive again, and off we go. Stop sign there. Now let's do a stop sign detection at the bottom of this little hill. Put on the high beams for you. Engage. No, okay. How about cruise control? There we go. Now it's letting me let the car stop on its own. Beautiful. Very smooth. Now I accelerate and go to the right. Cruise control is set to 10 miles an hour, it looks like. I'm pretty much just ignoring that at this point. Green lights. Okay, that was an interesting experiment. So engaging it right before the light, the car broke, or put on the brakes pretty firmly. But it worked. Okay, engage. And I did it when the gray wheel was not showing, so the car cannot engage. High beams automatically turned off. Change to the left lane. Okay, here we go. Coming up on a red light. Stopping in 500 feet. 300 feet. 200. 100. Okay, about 5 feet short of the line. A little strange. So this is obviously red. Tap the stock. Car gracefully accelerates. Car to my right is making a lot of noise. Okay, so here comes a green. And it warns me I'm stopping, so I had to tap the accelerator and proceed through the green. It's still very much a manual effort. Okay, I guess my hand wasn't on the wheel firmly enough. I thought my hand wasn't there. On the wide angle camera, not quite sure you're seeing all my fingers, but yes, my hand was on the wheel. Well, that's about it for tonight. It appears we do not have quite what we thought I had in this code. That's okay. Just have to try again another weekend. For me, a huge plus was a big plus for me is the feature where you can optionally leave your car unlocked when you get to your garage. It sounds like no big deal, but what about when you're going in and out of the car without your phone necessarily, or your spouse is getting in the car before you and you're not near the car, so your connection, Bluetooth connection with your phone hasn't unlocked the car. Lots of situations where it's kind of convenient when your car auto locks in the garage all the time. When I say all the time, like back and forth with each emptying of grocery bags from the trunk, for instance. So that feature is a big plus, coupled with curb rash or backing up with in daylight anyway, seeing quite easily what's going on in your rearview mirror. And more situational awareness. If you don't really care about the GPS and you're just on a long road trip, you could leave it like this and very clearly see your blind spots in this left and right mirror with pretty good low light sensitivity actually, and this looks pretty good right now. The color's funny. The rear camera has always been the best. In the daytime you can see the colors more like what the human eye likes to see in the rear camera, but the other cameras really meant more for Autopilot to see, not so great for you to look at. They look a little weird with the colors. But anyhow, I quite like this view. Being able to see the side cameras live while driving is a pretty cool thing, especially if you're in like heavy stop and go traffic. I can see this being pretty appealing. And yeah, let me turn down the volume of the music, play a song. Let's see. Engage lane keeping, auto steer, tap the stalk to proceed through green, and now just briefly turn on music. What happens? Okay, so you cannot see the little music ribbon at the bottom if you have that mirror on. Okay, I just forgot something. Proceeding through green is only going to happen if you have a follow car. So I blew this test. I now have a follow car. I tap the stalk to go through it, and we got green coming up ahead. So this is a really good test now. So I'm way behind the follow car, and the only way I'm going to proceed without confirming, darn, I'm not close enough to that car for it to proceed through greens without me confirming the stalk. Let's see if I'm getting closer to that car. Will it proceed through the next green light? Because I have a follow car, do I still need to hit the stalk? When I say follow car in my lane proceeding through green ahead of me should blaze that trail and avoid me having to tap. But no, I had to tap it again because I'm just not quite close enough. Good news, we're getting even closer to this car. So the next light will hopefully cooperate and be green. So we finally, at last, get to see me glide through a green light without any interaction. I know that sounds weird if you've never watched any videos like this, but Tesla's taken a very conservative approach to slowly rolling out around town self-driving features, meaning, let's say, co-pilot. Pilot assist is a better name in my mind, better description. Gotta stay behind this car, changing lanes. Darn, we have a red light. It did not cooperate. But anyhow, Tesla's taking a very conservative approach for around town driving. The highway, it's been spectacularly good for a long time. Lane changes, I don't tend to do unattended lane changes. I just stay in the middle lane typically, or right lane, and then when I want to pass, I'll manually tap the stalk to do a pass. That gives me the most soothing, pleasant driving experience. Okay, car proceeded. I did not touch brakes or the stalk. So the follow car just worked. It just happened. That was awesome. So the fact that we slowed down was irrelevant. I never made it to 0 miles an hour. It just works. Let's see if we can get one more green going at full speeds here. Okay, car lunging a little. The braking action was kind of strange there. Another red light. Oh well. And now he's getting out of the lane. Oh no. Alright, I no longer have a car I'm following. That is unfortunate. But we did get a demo in there. This might be the end of this little video clip, because I'm not sure I see another opportunity where it'd be easy to follow a car through a green light at full speed. I'm hoping. Alright, we got a truck. I suppose I could follow that if I like rocks on my windshield. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out here. A couple more lights up ahead before it becomes a highway, so this may actually work out in the end. I'll just time lapse this segment here. Okay, tap the stalk, car accelerates. All you hear is lots of noise from a giant truck next to us. Tap again, because a new light to go through, and the car continues through. So it was very subtle. I don't think the brake lights went on if we look closely here. The car just proceeded. So I don't think that's any big deal from the perspective of someone following me. You know, that there's essentially a robot driving the car ahead of them and handling acceleration. I think it just backed off in the acceleration a bit. How are we going to do this? This guy's going fast. That's not really going to help. Okay, put my stalk more firmly this time to change lanes so it stays blinking until the lane change is done. Then the blinker turns off. That's an interesting thing about a Model 3. The stalk never stays locked up or down. It always returns to middle. If you push gently, it does, I think, 3 blinks. If you push hard, it'll do an automatic lane change if you have the FSD option. Okay, so now we're behind a car. And it's going to be a green light. And he's changing lanes, or she. So, there goes that test. Tapping the stalk to proceed. I only lost 2 miles an hour. So as I felt the car slightly slow down, I reached for the stalk. I don't have to look at the screen, right? I can keep my eyes on the road. So training this system to handle these intersections around my town not a big deal. That one I lost only 1 mile an hour. I think you get the point. But you've also seen pretty clearly demonstrated it's not so easy to find in a low traffic situation like this, a light traffic situation like this, a car to follow, and up ahead it gets even lighter. So I'm going to do turn around here when it's safe to do so, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to follow a car again. Junk on the road, just averted that. And skunk smell, awesome. I don't think I ran over a carcass or anything, but I think we're good. Okay, the side camera, interesting observation there. The blinker is in that same assembly or nearby, so we obviously see light. Okay, let's follow this person. Engage auto steer and autopilot functions. So now lane centering and acceleration and braking are all handled by the car. This camera view at night, it's not going to show my feet, right? I might do another one of these at some point in the daytime like I've done before. Car is accelerating. I did not have to hit the stalk. That was very nice. So that's good, because before the previous software release you had to confirm everything. The car was more of a nag or more of a pain when you turned on traffic aware features for lights and so forth. Here we go, we got a follow car and we're cruising right through it. Awesome, we did it. We got through a perfectly normal situation where the light wasn't, you know, changing or anything like that. Let's push our luck a little here. We're losing some ground. We're kind of far behind and we're changing lanes right before an intersection. And it still worked. No. There was no one behind me. I did check. Cars behind me were way back there. So I posed no danger bleeding off 15 miles an hour there or so. Or no. 5 miles, 10 miles an hour, whatever it was. It was no big deal. But yeah, that just happened. Changing lanes like that and getting quite a bit of distance to the cars ahead, that didn't exactly help the situation. So that's about it. Success. It did what I expected it to do. I was a little confused at first because I kind of forgot about the follow car limitation, but I think you got a pretty good sneak that in a week or a month or 2 months, whatever it is, then the car will begin to go through green intersections straight without a car it's following. So if nothing else, after watching this, you're probably freaking out a little less about cars and automation, and this is all optional stuff. I can just drive the car like a normal car. I don't have to engage anything. Okay, so I just want to point that out. And I'm doing this with light traffic, no passengers, lots of situational awareness, checking my rearview mirror. There was no additional risk from what I just did by heading out and experimenting just a little bit on somewhat bigger roads versus strictly the highway, where I've been mostly using these automation features for the last 18 months and 30,000 miles in this 2018 Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive. Thank you for watching, and thank you for visiting TinkerTry.com/Tesla. Bye for now.